Great there. A great Wednesday evening. It is beautiful evening in the city of Brownsville. Uh, for most of us, it has it's been an interesting day. It it's been an interesting day. Hey Sam.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Okay, it's been an interesting day, man. A lot has happened uh, in the past couple of days since you've been gone.
I think lots of things have happened.
Yeah, you missed the whole school shooting, non-shooting. You missed the whole city commission meeting. I mean,
Oh,
you're gone, and all the good stuff happens.
yeah, that's a good
Well,
thing.
well, not the good stuff, but the interesting stuff. Let me rephrase that.
You mean the when they ask for like if he's chief of staff and he doesn't know how to answer?
Well, that's like kind of it kind of reminded me, and again, not to go into the all the political stuff in there, but it kind of reminded me uh, of remember when they asked that the judge if she could define what a woman was.
Mm.
It was like, well, yeah, simple, no? Are you or are you not the chief of staff? I didn't come to answer those questions.
Yeah, I saw that video.
I mean, I would have flipped. If I was me,
Yeah,
I would have flipped. It's just a disregard, and it's just very unfortunate. But one of
at
the
the end he does answer.
huh?
No, at the end he does answer because I think she was trying to prove that it's like conflict of interest, the fact that he's chief of staff and he's also helping to get the hot tax
Yeah.
money stuff. I know I missed that thing. I know that I think was that Ashley the one that was commenting about the museum, children's museum. She was
Yes.
like, okay, and then I saw that those videos. I saw the superintendent and his cracking voice. Like didn't know how to answer. Like he was like como que le acaban de regañar, como cuando like they make you talk right after your mom got after you, and you're like type of deal. Like I don't know why his voice was cracking. What I meant to say on the other one was like I forgot the show. There's a show up at the White House when they talk about like the I guess a speaker, the public what's it called, like the media relations person, media relations. There there's a way to like kind of deflect the questions without necessarily like not knowing the answers.
Yeah.
You
The
could,
press secretary.
but huh?
The press
Yes,
secretary.
that one. You could easily just say like, you know what, right now we don't have the answers, but I'll get back to you on that real quick. But that shows like how much like non-public experience you have.
Well, let me say, like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist just to answer with the truth. And
Yeah.
unfortunately for them, it is so shady. Everything that's going on at the city of Brownsville, it's just so shady that they have lost track of what the truth is.
Hey, but
Because
what? I think you guys said it first. Like you guys, I'm not too sure, but I think about like, hey, they need to make an example of this guy, like, you know, or we have almost $400,000 bail money for one of the persons, like I guess the main person of the group.
okay, so you're back to this, to the shooting.
Yeah.
All right,
This the superintendent was talking about the shooting or so-called shooting, and
let me tell you, the superintendent can speak to save his life.
yeah,
Let me tell you. he should never go be at a microphone for any type of press release, anything that he's going to have to talk on the fly. It was horrible. And then having to listen to him try and speak in Spanish, my lord,
Even worse.
they were worse. And this guy's from
That
Wood.
I like, how do you speak to like your crowds? Like when you're talking to teachers, like
Uh,
how do you do it? You know?
this guy's from Burgos. You know, he's originally from Mexico. He's from Burgos.
Yeah,
You would think that he'd have his Spanish down. And look, I'm not trying to criticize anyone out there, but get one of the two right. There's very few people out there that have the ability to speak in either language. And I am one of those. I speak really well in Spanish and I speak okay in English. I can hold a conversation most of the time, unless I'm upset, then I'll have like 15-minute shows and then I just want to go home.
and then you have like 50 estes in between.
Este, este, este. Yeah, exactly. But most of the time, at least
Yeah,
80% of the time, I can speak. This guy can't speak. I've yet to hear him speak on the cuff where he makes any type of sense. And for a lot of these folks, they have to have a prepared statement, you know, and they
yeah.
have to read from a prepared statement or teleprompter in order to sound halfway intelligent. And unfortunately, there's just it's just not there. And look, guys, there's some individuals that may be math savvy, science savvy, that have a hard time in speaking. This guy's an educator, teacher, overseeing 3,000 teachers.
And
Scary.
he paid how much a month?
30,000. It's just really unfortunate, very, very scary. But anyway, going back into the substance, and one of the other things, Sam, is it was just so much confusion. I don't know if you had the opportunity to see the press conference, then to see the timeline that Brownsville Police Department put out, and then to see the hearing this morning, the sentencing hearing, the bail hearing that the kids had at at the municipal court. It's all convoluted. Did you have a chance to see everything or no?
The sentencing hearing. But I did see like the mayor put his post clarify, and I did see everything else as far as like when it was coming out. And yes, there was a kind of confusion, and they were trying to put the pieces together. But you would think like, okay, well, just look into the cameras, let's see what's happened, in the school, because people were like, okay, like who's the shooting, who shot, and I know they were trying to like, I guess it's gonna go back to like, was it necessary? Um, and people were saying like, well, the car's going towards you or something, or was it going towards him? Um, but they could easily clarify all that if they would just like, you know what, this is what we have as far as video from the
Yeah.
school.
Well, let me say this is what we're going to find out.
And how did
And
it all started? You know?
yeah, this is what we're going to find out. And again, this is my prediction, Sam, and I'm saying it first, and I'm saying it now. Uh, they were trying to leave the parking lot. The officer was trying to stop. They're like, stop, stop. They decided to keep on going. The officer shoots at the car, and that's where everyone that was around there freaked out. And the kids in the car, they freaked out. So they halt. But, because Sam, if you're in a vehicle driving and you get shot at, you're not going to stop
Yeah, but they're in that little entrance of where they're dropping off students in Porter, right?
wherever you're at. What does it matter?
Because like they were dropping off one of the kids there, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't get dropped off after all. And then I guess they were saying that they were like going too fast in that little entrance or in that property of the school. And
Okay.
that's what told them to like slow down, and they kept on going fast. And that's why when they were like trying to take off, they were like going towards the security. Like, so in other words, como que like they were going towards like running him over type of deal. That's why he got out of the way and tried to shoot.
But
Well,
again, Sam, you don't shoot at vehicles. First of all, you don't stand in front of a vehicle that is acting erratically.
yeah,
You don't. And what did he? Did the officer think I'm going to stop? And then stop, stop.
yeah,
And then the car passes, and then he just decides to shoot.
yeah.
Not
They,
second guess.
they think that they'll stop because they deal mostly with like high school students, but they didn't expect them to, I guess, retaliate in that way.
It made no sense, Sam. And look, they found a controlled substance on him. This is my guess. They were probably fly high as a kite when
No,
they
was it
passed.
weed or was it controlled substance? Controlled substance is more like coke, not like high as wired.
Well, I think one of them had Xanax or something pills, but the other two, I think it's marijuana because I think the bond would have been set a lot higher.
Yeah,
But anyway, I'm going to guess that the officer smelled pot when they were coming in, and then wanted to check them when they were coming out. And
yeah.
then this is when the guys
But
just
this is
peeled.
the and there's so many assumptions of so many like scenarios that could happen.
But okay, yeah, but we're left with that, Sam. We're left with that because their stories are all confused. First
Yeah,
of all, if you read the timeline from the Brownsville Police Department, it clearly states that the people in the car shot at the school. I sent you that little text, that little thing that came from the Brownsville Police Department. Did you see it?
probably not.
I just sent it right now. The last thing I sent, but it clearly states Brownsville Police Department received another call at 8:48 for assistance from Brownsville Independent School District Police Dispatch. Preliminary information from BISD police was that the subjects in the gray Ford Focus had shot towards Porter High School. This didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. They won't be able to prove that unless they show the cameras. Like, do they have cameras at school?
Well, yeah, they do. But
I think was it Joe or one of the persons said that they commented that they could have tossed that out on the way while being the scene.
it didn't happen. And I'll tell you why it didn't happen. At the hearing today, at the bail hearing today,
Yeah.
the kid was like, "Why to say? Why are you charging me with a deadly weapon when I didn't have a gun? There's no gun. I did not have a gun." He said, "The officer shot at us."
Yeah.
The kid said that. Now, the judge or someone there stated the vehicle is considered a deadly weapon. So that's the deadly weapon that they're referring to. But if that is the case, if the kid is actually telling the truth, which I suspect that he is, suspect, then there was no shooting from the Ford Focus.
Yeah.
So again, was shooting at the vehicle justified? Take into consideration if you saw the stuttering superintendent,
Yeah.
he said students' lives and parents' lives were in danger because of the erratic driving of the suspects. If that's the case, Sam, what he's trying to say is that there were students around that could have been run over, right?
Yeah.
Couldn't
Where's it been
couldn't
shot?
they, couldn't they have been shot also?
Yeah.
So why shoot at the vehicle? Because he's automatically saying that there's students and parents around there. Why would you discharge of a fire
Firearm.
an arm fire thingy, a weapon towards a vehicle, Sam, where there's children and parents present? It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. And again, what would you do? And anyone out there, what would you do in a situation where you're getting shot at? You're going to speed out of there. And again, I'm not saying that the kids are angelitos, but let me say, guys,
They were trying to stop
what?
whatever they were doing. They were trying to stop him first, right?
Yeah, but let me say, guys, I, you know, one of the kids had no record. The other kid, I think his name was Gustavo or something. I can't remember. Uh, you got to feel for the kid, you know. Again, uh, let me see. Rodrigo. You got to feel for the kid, guys. I mean, the kids had a very, very rough life. I'm not saying it's an excuse, you know.
And that's probably the one who fled, right?
Yes, he was the one that was driving. Good evening. Now,
Oh,
take into
yeah.
consideration, he was also on probation. He was out on bond.
He was already out on bond,
Hmm.
and he did that.
Yeah,
No, man.
but again, they're kids, son huerquitos. You know,
Yeah, but well, that's why
I'm
you
not, I'm not
have.
excusing them. I'm not excusing them. But
Yeah,
the
it sounds like it, man. But if you're already out on probation, you know you're not gonna be messing around with weed
oh,
and drugs and stuff like that, doing stupid things.
yeah, he's out on bond.
Was that the one that was driving? Maybe
Yes,
that's the reason why he was trying to take off. Hopefully, he
yes,
would flee. You know,
yes. He
hopefully
was
he
he was
wouldn't
out
get.
on bond. Had probably had pot. I'm going to say pot.
Man, that's the horrible decision right there, man.
Horrible decision.
You
And
gotta.
his hearing for that charge that he already had is going to be August 31st. So his hearing was coming up.
Yeah,
So it's just
not gonna help him at all.
not going to help at all.
That's revoking probation. You might depending on who's the judge and who's his lawyer.
Court appointed right now.
Back County.
Their first like. Oh, thank you. Good evening from Piedras Negras. Hey, my man.
Hey, quick question, Paul. Uh, is you're going to Piedras Negras because is that like the new place for TPI?
CPI.
I think I read that he works with TPI, like a manufacturer for blades.
Maybe. Not sure.
So I'm wondering if Piedras Negras is a new place because the other place for blades was in Juarez, but that was Juarez has like a different manufacturer.
Don't know. Good evening. Good evening. The Valley needs a passenger train that goes north of Texas. We were supposed to get a bullet, not like the one that was shot at Porter, a bullet train that goes all the way to Dallas. It just never happened. Sam is tired. He talked about city, then intermingled the school district info. Yeah, that's why I'm going like, what the hell are
It's
you
like
talking
I'm
about?
so sorry. There's like so many things that has happened because he was telling me like, "Oh, you miss the city. Oh, you miss the school." And this is, I like, yeah, I kind of understood. I did kind of see it. I was kind of like in the background. That's why I was commenting in the morning and all that other stuff. But I was kind of busy. Uh, but it's because when I'm busy, I can only like be commenting. I can't be like on the video.
He's never busy.
But I did kind of like was on top of it more or less.
Off the cuff, on the cuff, on the cuff. I think it's off the. Is it off the cuff? I have no idea. Now you may want to go Google it. I might. He should have. He prepared statement to keep from spilling the beans on the case. Just thought. Again, it was just too soon, Anelda.
It was too quick. But then again, if he doesn't speak too quickly, then we're gonna be like, hey, why'd you take forever? So it's a lose-lose situation no matter what. Like
No,
he should
all
have
you
been
need, all you
he
need,
should
Sam, all you need is a short statement.
yeah, but he should have like talk straight to the source, like hey, with the security, be like, hey, what happened?
All
And
you need
then
is a short
go.
statement.
He's a
That's all.
surprise.
That's all you need to give. A short statement. Students are okay. It uh, suspects are under arrest. We will have more information as soon as these are available. It was confusing as crap.
Yeah,
And
like when Sam speaks of the city and the school.
exactly, igualito. It was like, what the hell are you talking about? But and I can prove that he was spilling too much because the DA was getting frustrated. You know, just frustrated.
But was the and that was a different video because the one I saw was just like the police chief. That's the one I saw.
Mm. No, it was the one from Channel 5. They had the
Yeah,
full press conference.
because I wanted to see where he kind of like loses it, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it was on the KRGV. I'll send you the link.
What's up, Mo?
That is Mo. He looks fatter. This is my new bow tie. It is amazing. Did they suspend the officer? Again, that is some information that should have been immediately out there. Officer is on leave. Just on
Yeah,
leave. You don't have to
like
suspend
it's
him.
on type of deal, not suspension.
Yeah,
But
just tell you.
I don't even think he's on leave.
What's the song?
With firing a pistol, a firearm, he's supposed to make a report every time you fire a firearm.
Yeah, move, get out of the way, get out of the way, move. I don't know what song that is. You really should get the facts first before you assume things. Exactly. And that's exactly what they should have done. They should have waited. They should have said this, and this.
Or
And
they said what they knew at the moment.
yeah, but unfortunately, they didn't know anything, Sam, because what they were saying was different to what actually happened.
Yeah.
And it caused more confusion. And then they went out and said there was no lockdown at Perkins when there was. So all that is just made everyone like, what the hell are you telling me? Especially individuals that were from Perkins. People in
And they
Perkins were
were
tripping.
saying like, oh, it's protocol for like the feeder schools. Perkins is not a feeder school for Porter.
It isn't a feeder school recorder, but
Just
you
throwing it out there.
it isn't a feeder school reporter. But you would think that any school in the area, a wise move would be to go on lockdown in the meantime. But my question was, why didn't Falk, Cromac, Castañeda,
Or did
Canales?
they went through there, or was something, or did something happen earlier to Porter around Perkins?
We don't know. But apparently, there was word that there was also a gun at Perkins. That's
Is
why there was
is any of them out on bond already?
who?
Are any of the kids out on bond?
No, I
So
don't know.
on
Well,
the
the kid that got charged with tons of money. I mean, there's no way he's going to put that money
yeah,
together.
the money, the exact number is $395,000.
Yeah, and bond. But take into
Yeah,
consideration who's going to want to bond somebody out that's just going to go out there and get themselves thrown back
yeah,
in jail.
nobody. He
The
had
other
just recently messed up.
the other kid had $4,000 bond. That's simple.
Yeah, they would probably get out with like a PR bond or something.
Well,
You know how to work their
it'll be minimal. But
yeah.
that kid is going to come out. I'm sure that the 16-year-old is going to come out. Did you hear the second boy, the skinny one, tell the judge he didn't have a gun? That guy. And I believe him. I don't think that they ever had a gun. No, a car is still a
The
weapon.
charge, there was to be a gun there, that will be another charge.
Yeah.
Like an
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Glory. I'm not disputing. I'm not disputing that the vehicle is considered a deadly weapon. I'm not disputing that. But there was no gun. And part of the report that Brownsville Police Department received from BISD police, Sam, was that the gray car had shot at Porter.
my question is, do you think maybe it backfired and they misunderstood it?
What?
Could have it backfired, like the vehicle, when it like old clunker cars? No,
You're
sounds
you're
like
thinking about movies.
they does happen. I don't know if you know about cars, but when it misfires,
Protocols. No, again, I don't believe that there was ever any threat in regards to a gun, a weapon from the gray vehicle.
yeah,
And that's just going to add to their defense. You know? Now,
yeah,
anyone would go out there. Well, why were you driving erratically? Because
yeah,
someone was shooting at us. But yeah, in regards to the car being a weapon, yeah, it is.
still, uh I don't know, man. Uh, they're still gonna get charges for all the drugs that they might have found.
No, look, I'm not trying to lessen their sentence,
Yeah,
but don't go out there and state to make it sound like, oh, they were shooting up the place. That
yeah.
wasn't the case. You know, that's exactly what I was thinking.
You're putting a veto defending them.
Yeah, Was That's exactly what I was thinking. Was it justified to shoot at the vehicle? And, and let me say this, guys. I'm not trying to judge anyone, but from what information we have as of right now, I don't think it was justified.
Like, how erratic was he driving for him to decide, like, you know what, I need to shoot these people? You know, was he driving erratically, like plowing into a crowd? Would you have shot at a car if someone was plowing into a crowd like
But
they have before?
couldn't you have hit someone in that crowd if you were plowing into a crowd?
Yeah.
You don't discharge into a crowd, Sam.
No, well, you try to shoot the person in the vehicle, but he, ni eso.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Now, God, thank God, Sam. Can you imagine if they would have shot one of the kids in the car
Yeah.
and there was no weapon in the vehicle? I mean, let me tell you, to the police officer, thank God he didn't kill one of those kids. You know,
Yeah. That would have been a lawsuit.
that would have been horrible. Because what would have happened is, trust in police officers, armed police officers at school, would throw a wrench into all that. Because remember when we were talking about arming teachers and stuff at schools? Well, ¿de qué sirve? And guys, and again, nothing against law enforcement, pero ¿de qué sirve tener individuals, law enforcement officers with guns that are going to be shooting at students
Yeah.
or vehicles?
I don't know,
I mean,
man. I think they should come out with the video of what exactly happened during the school
quick,
grounds for
quick,
it
Sam, quick.
to, yeah.
They need to do
So
it.
people
They
are
need
gonna
to do it
start
quick.
assuming what
They need
what
to do it because
like
and
making their
Sam,
own conclusions.
well, because it doesn't make sense, Sam. If it would make sense, Sam, you know, if it would make sense, was it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense. Now, take into consideration, everyone and their mother has a phone. Okay, everyone, and if they were doing donuts in the parking lot, Sam, if they were actually driving erratically and plowing through crowds, do you not think that
Somebody
someone
would
out
have
there
recorded.
would have recorded it? Because they do. As soon as you see something acting every single one of those kids has at least one phone on them. You know, they would have started filming. Oh, look, the car. Take out the phone, record. There's no video, and I know that there's no video because I would have already received it because we were the first ones to put the picture of the car at McDavid. You know, so the story doesn't sound right. And again, I'm not judging the police officer, guys. It just doesn't make sense. And someone is someone is lying. And for anyone out there to say that police officers wouldn't do that, Sam, remember Uvalde?
Yeah.
So the
Like there
question
was
is, huh?
there was errors made, and I don't know. Again, I don't want to jump into conclusion because we could
Again,
say
if, if the story was not so convoluted, if the story was not so convoluted and a lot of discrepancies in it, then I would say no, justified. I just cannot say that. Did you hear the second boy tell the judge he didn't have a weapon? That's my point. And I tend to believe the kid when he said he did not have a weapon. And Sam, you froze. Yeah, he's freezing. Let me go back. Sam, he was on bond with a felony. It's supposed to be sentenced October the 31st. Yeah, 100%. The kid is a repeat offender. In layman terms, a loser, period. Uh, Look, guys, uh, I'm not going to say that the kid was a loser. He's a kid. I'm not excusing it. What I'm saying is rough situations, man.
He's not
I'm
headed in
not
the right
excuse.
direction at the moment.
I'm not
Yeah.
yeah, not excusing him or anything. But take into consideration, he's a kid, a child. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Vito, virus. He'll be on Friday. Child 423, Derek, was the one asking the challenging questions. Great job. Great. And again, I don't like Derek. I will never like Derek, but he did a great job. A great job at the press conference. And it was kind of funny because they tried to quiet him down. You know, they were trying to quiet him down. And Derek goes out there and says, I'm, he just stated this. And that is why the district attorney was getting flustered. So Derek did a great job. And again, we're not friends. We'll never be friends. Wow, I've lost weight. No, you look chubby. Uh, is standard protocol to put officer on leave while investigation goes on? 100%. And again, that would have been a great statement to throw out. Officer has been placed on leave while we investigate. Erasmo dice Danny Salazar que a qué hora sales por el pan. Dile a Danny que a la hora que pase por mí. Isn't McDavid closer to Perkins? If so, then what makes sense for the campus to be? No, it is not.
McDavid is nowhere near.
No, Oliveira is close to Perkins. So McDavid. Oliveira is close to McDavid. Uh,
But they're over here by McDavid and Roosevelt, right there for that cemetery, ain't it?
you're,
For
you're
the
sounding
Lopez.
you're sounding muffled. What?
The car stopped where the Lopez is at, ain't it?
Yes, yes,
McDavid and Roosevelt.
yes. The closest school would be Canales and Oliveira.
Falk, maybe.
Yeah, Canales for Fark in the back and Oliveira, because Oliveira is right off McDavid. I still call it McDavid, and right into
But
Kings Highway.
Oliveira is on the other end.
Yeah, yeah, but it's you get McDavid and you go on Oliveira, where PUB's at. It's in between. If you go down Boca Chica, it's in between Porter and that old Lopez.
Okay.
Good evening. Oh, you would have been amazing to have on. Let me know when you can come back on. Come on, Sam. You didn't believe that one.
Which one?
It's not
Like I
muffled.
said, all of
Muffled.
these are just scenarios
Muffled.
of what could happen.
Muffled.
All I'm saying is that this are just
Ah, you know what? My bad.
There,
The
there.
finger. Is that better?
Yes.
It's because I was holding it with my pinky. Uh, these are just scenarios that what could have happened. We don't know the actual because there's no video.
No, we don't know. We don't know. And again, just need some more information. Well, actually, he doesn't have to have a gun. The vehicle is a weapon. It's used to hurt anyone. And the school police did what he had to do. Look, Maggie, I'm not trying to be difficult with a police officer. I'm not going to justify any action until we see more information. And again, the vehicle can be classified as a deadly weapon, 100%.
He would have had to like literally like step on the gas, going straight at the cop for him to do such a thing.
And,
If
and,
there
and
was nowhere, if it's nowhere near that, then like, dude, you're trigger happy.
yeah, and again, and this is the issue. Again, look, guys, I'm not against law enforcement, but again, let me say this: we
We're
have
not against
Uvalde.
rap, and we're not against rappers.
Yeah, it's. Let me give an example of Uvalde. We all wanted to believe that the cops did the right thing. We wanted to believe that they didn't. So I'm not going to excuse anyone out there until we have a little bit more information. But it doesn't appear, Maggie, if you see everything like we saw it, it doesn't appear that it was just driving erratically. Guess I should have stopped when the police said stop. Uh, Let me tell you, even if the guys didn't stop, Luis, because of all the other students around there, you cannot shoot at a vehicle. And that's exactly what the superintendent said. There were students around there and parents. You cannot shoot at a vehicle just because it's driving erratically, even if you told it to stop. It's not justified. Why you two sound like you need more justification on why cops shot at the wannabes. Look, guys, they're kids, man. We can't let cops go and just shoot anybody that we consider a wannabe. Can't do that. And I'm not trying to defend the kids. We just want to know the facts. Was it a justified shooting? Just like in the movies, he tried to blow it up. That's
What do you mean?
isn't it against the law to shoot at a moving vehicle for law enforcement? Again, I don't know. I only pretend to be a law enforcement officer, but I don't know. I
I
just
don't think that's against the law.
it just doesn't sound logical. And again, Gilbert and everybody else and Luis, it just doesn't sound logical with the information that they shared. Growing up in Brownsville in the late '80s, early '90s, friends always told me that Porter High School was a ghetto school for troublemakers. Uh, I went to Porter. Porter wasn't never ghetto. It was unfortunately it was because a lot of predominantly lower income individuals, got to go to Porter. A lot of people said, "Oh, well, it's just ghetto."
All of Bronzeville is predominantly low
Yeah.
income. So
Now, Sam's right. Now it seems like every school is at the same socioeconomic level. You posted this just last night from an eyewitness. Okay, an update on the Porter. My grandson saw that happen and saw the officer pull the gun. He said the officer yelled, "Stop," a few times, car coming at him. Rob said he had no choice but to shoot. And Rob's words, hats off to the officer. He had to do what he had to do. So if your student saw this and called it, then all you Nancy Pansy say the officer did wrong. If you weren't there, you didn't see. He was again. You're taking you're taking the word of a student. And again, Luis, you can call us all pansies all you want. I want to see the video because y'all were probably also calling all those people out there troublemakers that were trying to get into the building at Uvalde and saying that the officers did what they could do, and we found out that they didn't. They were neglectful.
Once they find out that there's no cameras footage at the school, and they have so many cameras around the whole school, I'm like, it's gonna be disappointing.
It's very disappointing. Or no body cam. Remember, because they all have body cams. Can you imagine if all of a sudden, well, there's no body cam?
Yeah.
Because that piece of evidence, and I think uh, Channel 4 News, Derek, is already asked for uh, all videos. Will they give it to him? Or will they say it's an ongoing investigation? At the hearing, the judge asked what is his past history, and I think he did have one bad record, the skinny boy. Yes, that's the one we're referring to, that he's going to go before a sentencing on the 31st of August. The other kid had no record. So Perkins had nothing, but the FBI showed up, but Porter had shooting, and there was no FBI. It's crazy.
I think there was probably like a misunderstanding or something when they made the calls. Because I did see the video, the one from Perkins,
Maybe
where they
maybe
where
they thought
they
maybe they thought Perkins was Porter.
I don't know.
That's scary.
That's
They
what
were
I'm
all,
saying. That's what I'm thinking. Like maybe they were at Perkins earlier, and they were already causing trouble, and then they were driving towards over there by Porter. But again, that's just speculation. Um, Menos va a tener cameras. Perkins. If Porter doesn't have any cameras, Perkins menos.
they were absolutely not driving recklessly due to being shot. They were driving recklessly due to driving a stolen car. Officer in the area calling their attention, juveniles panic. This sounds more logical as to driving recklessly. Stolen vehicle and having a record and carrying paraphernalia, anytime green leafy substance or illegal substance shooting was and is justified. No, we don't know that yet. And let me say, I still don't buy this stolen car stuff. I still don't buy the stolen car stuff. Let me say, folks, it was just too quick because
But like if they were smoking, I know that the security would tell them to to pull over to stop,
okay,
because that's the first thing they do in the morning.
but
Because
Sam,
everybody who's waking and baking and then going to school, they get after them.
that's fine. There's no way that if the car was reported stolen at 8:44 to Brownsville Police Department, there's absolutely no way that by 8:48 BISD police 4 minutes later is aware that there's a
Yeah,
stolen vehicle on campus. It's impossible, guys. And again,
yeah,
look, guys, y'all may want to defend the police officer all you want, and that's fine. I'd rather wait for the facts.
yeah. But yeah, you are correct. Like, there's no way BIZ security will know about any stolen vehicles.
No, and this is the Brownsville Police Department timeline. And let me tell you, Sam, I truly believe that the Brownsville Police Department is covering their back because they're trying to say we did nothing wrong. They're trying to say BISD police screwed it up. This is Brownsville Police Department, guys. And I feel from their timeline, they're saying BISD police got it wrong. Because even when it mentions the uh, the shooting, they stated, they stated um, supposedly they shot at Porter. You see that? It said that supposedly they shot at Porter, something like that. Some word saying like that's what they told us. That didn't
Yeah,
happen.
that's what the went with in the beginning. That supposedly there were some shootings, and apparently that was a vehicle, because it stated like that the principal, there was some sort of suspicious activity, and that the principal or somebody, some administration, I guess, pointed out the car, and that's when it all started. That
Yeah.
was some of the like the earlier reports.
Supposedly the kids dumped the weapon somewhere. No, that's not a supposedly. It's never even been mentioned. That's just hearsay. I believe the kid when he says he had no weapon because even the judge, Sam, stated the vehicle. Because by then, Sam, by today, they found out that there was no shooting except from the police officer. Juveniles deserve a chance of redemption. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Good evening. Guys, saca la cheese, Chris. Did the officer hit the vehicle when he just
Va a
charged
ver
him?
si con el chicle.
It's actually coconut. Did the officer hit the vehicle when he just charged the weapon? We don't know. That's also a good question. What did he hit?
And when the vehicle stopped in McDavitt and Roosevelt, was it like did they do a pit maneuver on it for it to stop right there, or did they just stop right there in the middle of the street and took off running?
Not sure. Because of where the car was parked, Sam. I don't know if you remember driving through there. There's
Yeah,
always a bunch of cars there, so maybe they couldn't get out of the way, or pass.
it's literally in the middle of the street where it's Roosevelt and McDavitt, and it's pointing away from the cemetery, pointing towards that other house. It's in an angle.
Maybe they decide just to get off and run. Can't take risks nowadays, especially under Uvalde incident. And these clowns with impaired judgment and possibly under the influence, no telling what they were up to, kids or no kids, they made their own decisions. Look, Gilbert, we agree, bro. The question
Yeah.
is, was the shooting justified? Was it necessary? Or was it excessive? That's the only question that perhaps, Sam, the video is going to prove. And look, nothing against the police officer, Gilbert. We just have to make sure that we don't have another Uvalde thing going on where the officer screwed up. But there was no shooting from students. There was no gun in the vehicle.
Like, we understand there was no gun and there was no shooting, but if they're in the school property and they're like, I guess, trying to get stopped by the security, and this kids are like stepping on the gas, going full force towards him, I don't think he would just jump out of the way. Like I guess I don't know. It might have been like a split decision. Might not be the best one, but I guess that's those action that he took.
Hey, look, it's the drunk guy at Whataburger. Hey, look, it's the nobody. Because no
He's
one,
talking about you or me.
I'm not sure. No one here, brother, no one knows who a Daniel Eduardo Guerra is. You're a no one, a nobody. You could probably fall flat drunk in the middle of international all night long, and no one's even going to care. Perkins Porter, a misprint on their FBI phones, perhaps. I don't know. You know,
It's a good point.
yeah. Uh, police five Channel 5 police spokesman reported car was stolen at 3 a.m. Again, the timeline that they produced, Brownsville Police Department, Ruben, it says that the vehicle was report here. Let me go to it. Sorry, guys. No, and again, that
Damn
is
it. Somebody should have been there and got on the license plate and figured out whose car it was, and it would have probably been like one of the kids' mothers or parents.
again, and Ruben, I think my take is that I don't think that it's going to come out. And again, this is just my take. I don't think that it's going to come out that it was actually stolen.
Okay, quick question: the kid that has a prior felony, what was his charge of? Like, what is his priors?
I can't remember. Look, Ruben, it's right here. I can't remember what it was. Honestly, maybe Luis knows. 8:44 and 1 second, in the morning. Ruben, Brownsville Police Department received a call from a victim stating that her 2011 gray Ford Focus was stolen from the 2900 block of East 32nd Street.
And that's over there by Southmost, no? East
Yeah.
32nd?
That's 30 seconds over there behind Porter. And look, Sam, at 8:48,
Behind Porter.
yeah, 32nd Street, allá atrás de la Porter.
See that 30th Street, está acá por el HEB de la Southmost, no?
Yeah, but it's behind Porter. HEB is behind Porter, Sam. Allá, atrás.
Oh,
It's in the back. No?
yeah. Mm, of course, it's on that section of the city, pero you're like a little bit.
Well, it was
What? Be more specific though. Where exactly is 32nd Street?
back there somewhere. But what I'm trying to say, and look, and this is the timeline. At 8:44, they received a call. Okay, at 8:44,
Yeah.
Brownsville Police Department. At 8:48, 4 minutes later, Brownsville Police received another call asking for assistance from BISD Police Dispatch. And this is what I say. Preliminary information from BISD Police said the subjects in a Ford Focus had shot towards Porter High School. This is 4 minutes later, Sam. It doesn't make sense. What I'm trying to tell you is there is absolutely no way that BISD Police was aware that this was a stolen vehicle. Which I still don't think is a stolen vehicle. I think it's probably a baby mama saying, mi huerco se llevó el carro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, that's speculation. Fíjate, at 8:49, 2 minutes later, Brownsville police officers on patrol arrived to assist BISD officers as the suspects had bailed out of the vehicle at an abandoned building near Lincoln Street and McDavid Street, Sam.
Lincoln and McDavid.
This is 2 minutes later, Sam. But Brownsville Police Department didn't appear till over here. Not at Porter.
But isn't Lincoln and McDavid más para allá, closer to the expressway?
I don't think Lincoln even hits McDavid. Remember that Lincoln goes to where that Whataburger's at? And then
Yeah.
it kills off, and then it goes all the way acá para la 14. I can't hear you. Can't hear you.
You know that little street where that little old convenience store comes out?
Yeah, that street. It's not Lincoln.
No,
I think it's Cleveland. No,
one of
can't,
those.
can't remember what street it is. I see. Yep, I need to see the video
Yeah, I
of
don't have
that
my phone, my laptop with me.
because you're dumb. Yep, I need to see the video of that crazy driving because then we have a to pray no students ever have a seizure while driving or have a bad breaks out. Yeah, exactly. And look, guys, it's nothing against law enforcement, man. And I know people up here like, oh no, officers were justified. Again, let's wait because y'all were probably bitching about the Uvalde officers being all innocent. At the end of the day, you, I, and all can speculate everything until the yes. But when the individuals that are in charge of investigation keep on giving you contradictory information, it just doesn't make sense. That's all we're saying. It doesn't make sense. So why are people going, oh, it was justified? Well, wait, doesn't make sense. Now, look, Sam, if it was a cut and dry, hey, there's a video here. Someone snapped a video where it's driving into the crowd, you know, then maybe, you know, but we don't have that, Sam.
Yeah.
We don't have that. And again, everyone and their mother has a cell phone. Someone would have taken video of it, guys. That's all we're saying. My San Antonio news count ABS chatter aimed to disable fleeing. It was done in 2012 by troopers shooting from a helicopter. Okay. I've seen the videos. If a cop who is in the trouble and sees the bad guys, hands in his pocket, etc., a cop shoots. I don't know. Do you want to be walking down the
cops give like plenty of chances to like I guess
muffled? Can't hear you.
The cops give plenty of chances to like take the because they're talking about having their hands in their pockets. But cops give plenty of chances before they actually even shoot.
Exactly. And again, guys, let me tell you. Do you want to be walking down the street and a police officer sees you with your hand in your pocket and say it was justified?
No, I know, but they're talking about once you're already dealing with a cop, like
Yeah, but
they're already like, oh, hey, you know what? This is a person of interest, or this is a person that we're looking for, and they're trying to like, hey, we need to talk to you real quick to see if you're the person or not, and you're over here walking away with your hands in your pocket because the cop doesn't want to be the next stat about being the killed cop, So they're gonna be edgy.
Again, guys, there's too much supposition. Well, if he had his finger out, and maybe the cop thought it was a gun, it's just too much supposition. We don't know.
Yeah.
The court should order the record radio transmissions. You will hear the cop saying subject burning rubber in a park. It's not true. It was not. We were lucky the kids' parents were not killed. This is all a hyper vigilance trigger effects of Uvalde. Trigger effects of Uvalde. We don't know. This just came out at 6 p.m. today. Oh, again, Ruben, I'm just going by the police accounting of it. If something else came out today, that just makes it a little bit even more trippy, Sam,
Yeah.
Because you've got the police department. They gave a statement, Ruben. I mean, I didn't make this timeline up. It came from them. So again, I'd like to see it. Send it to my inbox, please. Thanks, my man. Appreciate you. It was not justified. Again, we don't know. It doesn't. To me, honestly, it doesn't sound justified.
But it has like a high probability of not being justified.
Yeah. Again, don't know. Someo, stolen vehicle prior. Send it my way. I haven't seen it. I'm giving you the timeline that was given by Brownsville Police Department. Are the schools going to have officers in school all young or half a year? A lot of parents are hesitant to send their children back to school. I think it's going to be a year-round thing. I was out in my backyard on Keith Lane when a cop passed by and asked me if I had seen a young guy dressed in black. I stated no, and he said, if you see him, call 911 because he had a gun.
Or
That
they
was,
were just going. They were just going with, I guess, with the speculation of it. But
yeah,
I
that
think
was,
he just blew it up. The security guy there from BSD.
yeah. Maybe it was speculated he had a gun. But remember, Enrique, police officers were told at 8:48 that supposedly they had shot at Porter. So they're going to suppose that he has a gun.
Yeah.
Somewhere there was a statement that he shot at the tire. Where? We haven't seen it.
Who?
Huh?
Who?
The officer. I don't know. Yes, that's from yesterday's timeline. Today
That's
after,
funny because the picture of the thing is an owl, and I'm like, who? Who?
yeah, yes, that was from yesterday's timeline. Today after the hearing, the spokesperson came out with that report at 6 p.m. today. If you could send me a link to it, that'd be great. Because again, it would contradict their first report. That card could have been reported stolen in the middle of the night, but it wasn't reported until later that morning.
It could have been stolen in the middle of the night and not reported into the morning. That's what they're trying to say. Like they barely woke up in the morning, they notice that the car's not there, they try to figure out where it's at, then they call the cops to report it stolen.
That makes sense. Maybe they got pulled over at the old Lopez on McDavid. Yes, that's where the picture's at. Thoughts on cheeseburgers? Let me tell you, my man. Right now, I'm actually craving a cheeseburger. Let me tell you. This weekend I had a Wellington hamburger. Delicious, Hector. Lincoln Street does hit McDavid. Romo Food Store is right in that intersection.
Thank you.
Yeah, but Sam,
Someone knows their hood.
look at Sam. But the car was not there. It was over here by the old
Yes,
Lopez.
I know, but who's the one that said Lincoln and McDavid? The cops, didn't they? Didn't you just say the cops had a report
But the
and
car,
on their statement they said Lincoln and McDavid?
but the car wasn't there.
I know. So, but I'm saying going back to the official report from the Bronzeville PD, they said Lincoln and McDavid. McDavid. Sorry, antes que se enoje Vito. McDavid.
That's where it is. I'm not negating that. I honestly I go by that street all the time. I don't know which the name of the street is. But again, the car, if you look at the picture, it was over here by,
Roosevelt.
yeah. Las escuelas checan que los estudiantes no traigan cosas prohibidas en sus carros.
El carro está ahí por donde está la casa de la viejita que vende beer after hours.
That one.
Ahí es mero.
Lincoln Street in front of the convenience store. Got it. Sam, you watch too many movies. On one of the South Park episodes, they shoot their guns while screaming. It's coming right after us. Sam, anything else?
um, no, just like and subscribe.
Like the YouTube
But
page.
yeah, well, hopefully, I don't know what's gonna happen. I guess we'll find out later about what's gonna happen with the kid. It's unfortunate that he was already in probation, and this is not gonna help his case. Hopefully, he does find, I guess, some clarity after, I guess, learning a lesson or something out of this. Um, but if not, it's not looking good for him.
It is looking good for him. And let me say, guys, prayers to everyone out there. Prayers for these kids. Prayers for the families involved. The families are the ones that really suffer through all this, guys. So prayers to the families. The kid was living a weird, very weird situation. I actually got word on what the kid was going through. Just prayers for everyone out there. It's a
And good
horrible.
thing it wasn't worse. Let's just put it at that. It could have been worse.
Yeah, I agree with Ashley and with Sam. Thank God that no one was hurt. Isn't it Santos Koi store on McDavid? Yes. Yes. Yeah. I remember the Santos Koi. Pues nada, no pasa nada, hombre. Bravo. Guys, have a great, great evening. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizer. Still believe that, guys. Be good to each other. Continue to be good to me. God bless. See you tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock in the morning.